The data science world is definitely changing rapidly. It's being pushed forward by constant innovation, but also this huge demand, right?
Wow.
Businesses need people who can actually turn data into action. And as companies rely more and more on data for decisions, we're seeing these roles become much more specific, more specialized. Your sources really highlight 4 roles that seem particularly crucial for where things are heading. So that's where we'll focus today's deep dive.
Who's wrangling all the data needed to feed them? That sounds like a huge job in itself.
That's exactly where the data engineer fits in. Think of them as the architects, the custodians of an organization's data infrastructure. They build and maintain the systems for collecting data, storing it, processing it, and, crucially, making it accessible. They basically build the data highways and the plumbing. You could say they're the absolute backbone supporting any data-driven company.
Right. So what are their main tasks on a typical day?
It really boils down to data management. They're designing, building, and maintaining robust databases, data architectures, and especially data pipelines. These pipelines are critical for pulling in large amounts of raw data from all sorts of sources and then processing it. A huge part of their job is getting that data ready for data scientists and analysts, making sure it's clean, accurate, usable. This involves everything from spotting inconsistencies to building automated workflows to clean and reshape the data.
So a lot of behind-the-scenes work to make the data useful.
A ton. You'll see them heavily involved in ETL extract, transform, load, or sometimes ELT processes, extracting data, transforming it into the right format, loading it into data warehouses or other systems. They have to merge data from different places, check it, parse it, clean it. There's a lot of coding involved, often focused on making things efficient and scalable. They build optimized data stores for analysis and set up ways to serve that data reliably.
Do they mostly work alone, or is it collaborative?
Oh, definitely collaborative. It has to be. They work very closely with business analysts, IT teams, software developers, and especially data scientists to really understand what data is needed and then build the right infrastructure to deliver it effectively.
What are some of the biggest challenges they face? The main headaches?
Just ensuring the data quality is consistently high, accurate, clean, ready to use, that's a constant battle. And handling the sheer volume of data, often coming in fast from many different places, and processing it quickly and reliably, that's immense pressure. Dealing with messy, inconsistent data is just part of the daily grind.
I've heard data engineers can specialize a bit too, is that right?
Yes, your sources mention that. You have generalists who kind of do everything data related. Then there are those who focus heavily on the pipelines managing the flow of data, and others who are more database centric, really specializing in designing and managing complex database systems.
Okay, let's talk tools. What technical skills are absolutely essential for a data engineer?
Python and SQL. Those are the absolute foundations. Your sources say they show up in, 70% and 69% of job postings, respectively? So yeah, critical. Other languages like Java, Scala, sometimes Go or C#, they pop up too, often for specific performance needs or system integrations. And deep knowledge of databases is a must. Both relational ones like PostgreSQL or MySQL, and NoSQL databases like MongoDB or Cassandra, plus expertise in data warehousing platforms Snowflake, Redshift, BigQuery are the big names there.
And for building those crucial pipelines you mentioned.
Yeah, they need to be proficient with ETL or ELT tools. These automate moving and transforming data. Your sources list things like Apache Airflow for managing the workflows, dbt Cloud for the transformation logic, and various cloud-native services like Azure Data Factory. And for really large data sets, knowing big data tools like Apache Spark and Kafka for processing is pretty much essential.
Cloud skills seem vital across the board. What's the focus for data engineers there?
Huge. Cloud expertise is absolutely huge. They need to be very familiar with the services on the major platforms, AWS, Azure, Google Cloud, especially the ones for data storage, processing, and management. AWS seems to have the edge in mentions and job postings according to your sources, but Azure is right behind it.
You mentioned DevOps skills earlier. That sounds interesting for a data role. How does that fit in?
Yeah, this is a really significant trend, I think. We're seeing more and more expectation that data engineers possess skills from the software development world. Things like CI/CD continuous integration, continuous deployment, and tools like Docker for containerization, Kubernetes for orchestration. It's not just a nice to have anymore, it reflects this key insight. Data pipelines are being treated like critical software products. They need version control, automated testing, reliable deployment, all the best practices from software engineering.
Gotcha. Are there other important skills besides the core coding and infrastructure stuff?
Definitely. Data modeling, designing how data is structured efficiently. Data governance and security are becoming increasingly critical, protecting data, ensuring compliance with rules like GDPR. API and integration skills are needed to connect to various data sources. And interestingly, your sources suggest even data visualization tools like Tableau or Power BI are showing up more. It implies data engineers need to understand how the end users, the analysts, and business folks are actually going to consume the data they provide. The path seems pretty standard. Starting maybe as a trainee or junior, moving to a mid-level role, then senior. After that, it can lead to leadership goals like manager of data engineering or deep technical expert roles like data architect. It's also quite common for people to move into data engineering from related fields like software engineering or business intelligence.
What about the job market overall? Still strong?
Yeah, strong and stable seems to be the message. Growth projections are consistently solid. It's a foundational role. Thousands of jobs are opening up each year. It's in high demand because every data initiative relies on them. So, the key insights for data engineering. One is that skills-first hiring trend. Practical ability with the tools often counts for a lot, which is great news if you're changing careers. And second, that growing need for DevOps skills. It really highlights how data infrastructure is maturing, adopting serious software engineering discipline to build reliable, scalable platforms. That blurring of lines means being adaptable is really key. Which really brings us to a final thought, a question for you listening. Given this rapid evolution and all these diverse paths and specializations opening up in data science, how do you decide? Which qualification method, which area of focus feels like the right one for you as you look towards your future in this data-driven world?